Please welcome to the stage, Sébastien Marot.
Good morning! Woo! Good morning and welcome. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Google Next 2018. Wow. I can't prevent myself from smiling when I see the audience. It's great. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We have put a lot of passion and effort to build this program in the next 3 days. Super excited. With, I think, more than 8,000 attendees, this is the largest ever event we're organizing at Google in Europe. So this is really nice, cool. Thank you again for coming. But what I really like is the diversity in the audience. We have a very large population of developers, IT leaders, business leaders, and also executives. So we are very, very committed to fulfill all of your requirements during these next 2 days. So we have been working on building 125 breakout sessions around artificial intelligence, ML, machine learning, infrastructure, network, collaboration, data analytics, and a lot of industry use case that will be presented by more than 200 people, again, in the next 48 hours. So whether it will be a lot of customers sharing their best practices, analysts and Googlers. So please be ready. Be ready for a lot of announcements. Be ready for additional announcements compared to the 105 we already did in July in San Francisco. Today and tomorrow we are going to have an additional 32 announcements just for you in Europe. So this is, pretty cool. So this is a European event. And what has happened in the last 12 months in Europe since last we met at Next here in the same room last year? We have massively invested in Europe. And if there is one space we have invested, it's the enterprise space. We have spent a lot of time actually partnering with very large companies in Europe. And I'm very, very happy actually to report that we have started some very strategic partnership with companies like Atos, Airbus, or Carrefour in France, in the retail industries with Metro in Germany, in the financial sector with HSBC or ING in the Netherlands, but also in the media space with companies like Sky, or in the oil and gas with Total, or manufacturing with Philips, and many, many different others. So you're going to learn and you're going to hear from these companies in the next 2 days, sorry. The next thing we've done in Europe, we have, and 2 years also. The next thing we have done in Europe is we have hired a lot of customer engineers because it's super important for us to connect our engineers to your organization to help you driving this journey to the cloud. And last thing, but not least actually, we have also sealed some very strong partnership with the traditional IT companies you're working with, whether it's our marquee sponsor that are helping, and thank you for helping us to organize this event, like Intel, Cisco, Accenture, or Deloitte, or other companies which are very close to you and partnering on a day-to-day basis, like Atos or SAP, which you will hear also from today on the stage. So yesterday we had our partner summit, which kicked off this event, and we had in the room 700 partners working with us around and sealing the partnership we have built with them. So whoever you are, you have your core assets. Whichever is the company, whatever the size of the company or the industry you're working for or in, you have your own core assets. You own these ones, actually. You control your services, your products, to a certain extent, your employees, supply chain, and your customers. And our mission at Google Cloud is really to take the power of the cloud and supercharge your core assets by literally bringing the cloud to your organization. So this is why also it's not only about technology, and we'll talk about that. It's really about business transformation. And the thing we've done in the past few months is to build some industry expertise around the globe, and in Europe in particular, around the different key industries you're working in, whether it's retail, financial services, media, healthcare, oil and gas, or gaming. And it works. It really works extremely well. I mean, we have spent the last 9 months with our friends from Deloitte, surveying 1,500 IT leaders within 14 different European markets. And we know the cloud is driving revenue growth. We know that the cloud is driving cost savings. But the thing which is absolutely amazing is those IT leaders who are extensively using Google Cloud have a return on investment of 10x. We love 10x at Google. In other words, every time you spend €1, they spend €1, they get 10 euros back by using Google Cloud. And this is a survey with facts which has been truly demonstrated. Super exciting. And the exciting thing, it's not only about the business, it's also bringing a big social impact. In education, we learn differently in the schools. In healthcare, we're helping actually patients to get better outcomes, or in environment where we better control the energy. So now, of course, it is a journey. There are a lot of things to implement to enjoy this return on investment. I mean, you need to really enable and recruit your people. You need to manage all your security, compliance, trust concerns, actually, that you may have actually to go there to this journey. And you need to build a roadmap. So this is what we're aiming to do for the next 2 days, is really to share as many stories and our vision on helping you to drive this journey to the cloud. Now, I welcome again. I hope you will enjoy these 2 days, and it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker. She's our Chief Executive Officer. She's a technologist. She's a business leader. She's really passionate, and she is a visionary and a true inspiration for me. Please welcome on stage Diane Green. Welcome, Diane.
Thank you. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome. So happy to be here in London with all of you. Welcome to everybody here live and all of you streaming. I'm going to go off script for a minute because I couldn't resist when I heard Sebastian talk about the diversity and roles here. It made me wonder how many women and other underrepresented minorities are here today. Raise your hand. I think we have some work to do. We'll do better next year because we all bring a lot to the table. Okay, so we have an amazing couple of days planned. A lot of our best engineers here to talk with you, fellow customers to discuss what you're doing in our cloud and with our productivity suite, and lots of training and education, and then partners with all the amazing solutions they're bringing to you. So stepping back, Google had this amazing mission 20 years ago to organize the world's information and to make it accessible and useful. I think search has really delivered on that. I think it's even more relevant today than ever. And now, that was to billions of users, we're delivering that. And now with Google Cloud as a major enterprise company and a big part of Google, we're delivering to millions of companies our technology to take your data, organize it, manage it, and make it useful and accessible to you in driving your business. Same mission, but now we're bringing it to our companies so that you can pursue that as well. In other words, any size company can now gather, organize huge amounts of data, and supercharge it, basically, with analytics, with AI. And here in Europe, we are so proud of the companies we're getting to work with, we're getting to partner with, and to support to drive your businesses. Sebastian mentioned several. I'll just mention a few. Airbus, which is all in on G Suite, 130,000 customers. I just met with Carrefour a couple days ago in France, hypermarket retailer using GCP and AI. And one that's really fun here in London, the Zoological Society, using our image APIs to surveillance over wildlife to help with conservation. Or SAP in Germany, they're a big customer, they're a partner, and you'll hear more from them later today. So we're seeing incredible momentum here, and that's why we're investing so much. And let me just take you through some of the investments we've made in the last 18 months. We've added 5 new cloud regions: London, Germany, Netherlands, Finland, and we've also just announced one in Zurich. We've also announced a new private undersea cable connecting France and the United States. And then, we're leading in AI. We have some of our best people here in Europe. We have DeepMind here based in London, and they just announced another lab that they opened in Paris. Google Brain has a lab in Paris. Google Cloud AI has a large group in Munich, where we're doing applied AI and also some interesting robotics work. And then in Dublin, we have our ASL, Advanced Solutions Lab, where customers can come in and get deep immersive training in machine learning. And then just across all of EMEA, in 20 countries, we're bringing training in our AI and our other technologies, from agile development to security and data analytics. And we're also spending, it's very important, spending a lot of time with government officials, with regulators. We're discussing concerns, we're, helping everybody together understand the concerns about what this IT transformation means as everybody moves to the cloud, and in particular, a lot of time on data locality, which is front of mind for a lot of countries. Countries are just working out their digital strategies, and the cloud seems to be front and center to that, because it's just a revolution that's going on. It's interesting. I mean, we're early in the cloud. About 10% of the workloads have moved to the cloud, but it's really clear that it's this major vehicle for digital transformation, and that's where so much of our companies are that's where you're digitally transforming yourselves. Why? It's more secure. It's where the most advanced technologies are. There's bottom line and top line benefits. I came to Europe last week. I've been meeting with lots of customers. It's been quite inspiring. I think my favorite interaction was perhaps last night. I was checking into my hotel, and someone, maybe I hope in the audience, they're here in the audience, asked me if I was here to go to Next, Google Cloud Next. And I said, yeah, I am. And I asked, what brought you here? And he said, oh, my company is moving to Google Cloud. And I go, oh, how'd you choose it? He had no idea that I would be speaking here this morning. And he said, well, we looked at all 3 clouds, and Google Cloud was just superior. It clearly had the best technology. And then the people. I loved my rep. I loved the engineers. We're just incredible. So it was a nice start for me. I liked it. Thank you very much. So cloud is becoming just a better way to run your IT, and it's turning out to almost provide a working structure for how you can affect change in your company. So as companies are kind of using the move to the cloud, their migration planning as a vehicle to kind of step back. We've had companies redefine their missions as they move to our cloud. But you take another look at your culture, your processes, and your data strategy. And when people look at their culture, they often realize they want to move to G Suite because it gives the company incredible transparency, collaboration, and just speed, agility. We've so infused it with, mundane work-saving capabilities. People also, data tends to be in silos across all your data centers or in lots of different databases, and then people move, you move to the cloud and you put it all in one data lake, and all of a sudden everybody in the company can easily, in a few minutes ask any question. subject to access controls. And then once you have that data, you can start running analytics, doing AI, getting to know your customers so much better, making predictions about what they want, training on your own data, say your own images, and everything kind of changes for the better. And then finally, as people move to the cloud, they step back and look at your developer processes, because how you develop has changed so much in the last 10 years. And people want to move to containers and get more agile. We got our Kubernetes and Istio hybrid environment that you'll hear more about today. That plays a big role in the migration to the cloud. And as people move, as Sebastian was saying, you need domain expertise in whatever industry you're in. And that's something we put in place over a year ago, and it's working extremely well. We have an industry-specific strategy where we have the business development people coupled with the engineers, and we're building out the tools every industry needs. A lot of that with applied AI to drive your business. So for instance, in financial services, we're working on things like anti-money laundering with some of our customer partners, or fraud detection, retail customer sentiment, inventory predictions. In health, all kinds of diagnostics, different ways to manage records, ways to anonymize records. That was actually one of the first industries we developed a large team around, and it's just exploding because health with electronic health records is such a data-intensive business that lends itself so well to building machine learning models to get great insights. And then things like media, gaming, transportation, energy, education, and so forth. So in sync with why we're doing this applied AI in all the verticals is really gets to our differentiation. People always ask me, how is Google Cloud differentiated? What makes us unique? There's many, many things because we're such a technology company, but really I think it's our AI and data analytics and security that speak to what our customers' needs are. If you think about it, artificial intelligence is everybody's biggest opportunity, and cybersecurity is unfortunately everybody's biggest threat, and Google has the best of both of these. AI's just been a priority at Google since we were founded. It's built into everything we do. It's completely infused into G Suite, our applications, which gives us expertise in how to help you infuse it into your applications. We've built out a large team now doing applied AI, taking the best of our research. And we recently, we had Fei Li running it, who's now gone back to Stanford to run artificial intelligence. And Andrew Moore, the Dean of Computer Science at CMU, has just joined us to run our Google Cloud group, AI group. This is such a powerful technology, and we're so proud to have the world's leading experts. It has so much power for good, but we also see that there's so many concerns in the world. What is this new powerful technology that's, making decisions and so on? So we're very involved with the industry, with SSS and so forth, to work out how this should move forward, because it is solving so many of our world's most pressing problems. So we use it, as I said, throughout G Suite. We help our customers build ML models. We have data science experts using our TPUs, tensor processing units. We have ways, if you're not a data scientist, to automatically generate your machine learning. We have callable APIs like image recognition, natural language, speech translation, even job matching. And you'll hear more throughout the day and the conference about all the amazing things our customers are doing. Turning to security, I mean, Google has been in the crosshairs for well over a decade due to the billions and billions of users we serve, and that's made our cloud incredibly secure. The scale we have lets us offer unparalleled expertise. In fact, we have a whole group that does nothing but look for exploits. They found Spectre Meltdown, they found Heartbleed, and then lets us see what's going on out there. Just to give you an idea of the scale, per minute, we filter 10 million spam and phishing attacks. Per minute, we take down protect you from 7,000 bad URLs. We stop them. Our security is just built into every layer of the system. Our assumption is anything on the network is a risk. There's no sort of perimeter assumptions there. So we have chips, proprietary chips we've developed that go into every new server, every new Chromebook, that make sure the operating system hasn't been tampered with and will not boot if it has. Hopefully someday it'll auto self-repair. We encrypt everything at rest and in transit. We let you have your own encryption key that you manage. And we're working with the chip vendors on new, more advanced hardware technologies that will do even more over time. You know, there's just no more secure setup than taking a Chromebook, adding hardware-based two-factor authentication, and running it diskless with G Suite. Companies seem to be appreciating this. We had 175% growth in Chromebooks last year. G Suite stops 99.9% of spam and phishing attacks. And we're deploying it for these reasons and others at very, very large, multi-100,000 person enterprises, and regulated ones at that. And it's for all these reasons that we were recently named by Forrester as the leading cloud for security strategy. But there's also another differentiator that Google Cloud has, and this one is good for every single person in the world. Google Cloud runs all of its 17+ regions, data centers, carbon neutral. It's a huge commitment of Google. Thank you. And we do a lot for our competitors. We run carbon neutral. We give them security fixes when we discover them. Something we're really proud of is we have, I think, very quickly become a major enterprise player. And we've matured tremendously. And one sign of that is Analyst Recognition. We're super proud that we're now recognized by Gartner to be a leader in 4 of their Magic Quadrants: infrastructure as a service, public cloud storage, API management, and content and collaboration, which is Drive, which now has over 1 billion users. We've also just made huge strides in the excellence we're bringing to how we go to market, how we help our customers be successful. As Sebastian said, we've radically increased the number of engineers. This is such a technology business. It's all about that engineer-to-engineer collaboration, the architects. You know, we are partnering with you to move you into a next-generation digital company, and we want to do that as an ongoing basis. Customers are just at the core of everything we do. It's what inspires us. We love it when we can partner with you and help you achieve where you're going, your mission. We want to support that, and the closer we work with you, the better we both become. And now I want to turn and bring up some real customers so you can hear it from them. And I'm really thrilled to be able to bring on a truly unusual, very high-energy visionary that's done some remarkable things. He embraced the internet very early on. I want to welcome to the stage the CEO of Airasia, Tony Fernandes. Tony? Yeah. Ah. Your hat. Where's my hat?
They wouldn't allow me to give you one.
Okay, they wouldn't allow. Okay, so Tony, Airasia is an amazing story. How did you begin? What's happened?
Well, I came from the music business 17 years ago. I left Time Warner because they didn't embrace digital music, and bought an airline for 25 cents. Bought 2 planes.
I wouldn't have wanted to run on those planes.
2 planes and 200 staff, and over the last 16 years, we've grown to 250 planes, 20,000 staff. We started with 200,000 passengers. This year we'll carry 90 million passengers.
90 million passengers?
90 million
That's
passengers.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. True, amazing entrepreneur. Well, Tony, part of what you guys do is use G Suite. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, early on in the days when I started Airasia, no one used the internet for booking. We were the first airline to use Airasia.com, and we really valued...
They were the first airline to sell tickets online.
In Asia.
In Asia.
We really wanted to protect our data. We wanted to know our customer. We wanted to collaborate with our customers, etc. Back in 2012, we saw Google Plus and Drive. And I was one of the first people to go to my staff and say, this is an amazing product. We saw ahead of time and thought...
Well, as you do, yeah.
You know, and so we thought that this is great collaboration. We were all about collaboration with our customers, collaboration with our own staff, and we saw Google Drive as a fantastic product, which then morphed into G Suite.
Yeah.
And it was a big cultural change. I mean, it was a unilateral decision. It was a little bit dictatorial by me to say, we're moving.
That's the best way it works, is when the leader says, we're going.
Yeah. Helps that you own the airline.
Has it worked out? Yeah.
Yeah, it's worked out great. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got my assistant. You know, I literally had to grab his Microsoft Surface off him. He was holding it. He said, no, don't take it away from me. Don't take it away from me. 2 weeks ago, he said, I'm so glad you did. I love my Chromebook.
None of our customers look back. Everybody's happy once they move to G Suite.
The ability to collaborate, the ability that G Suite has given us to collaborate. When you have an airline as diverse as ours, from India, we have Airasia India to Airasia Japan, you know, it's
Makes
very...
a difference.
Makes a big difference.
And then what about machine learning and AI? Is that your next frontier?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we see the ability, we have a huge amount of data that we've collected over the last 17 years, and the cloud.
Yeah, you said you've never threw away any data
No,
for
we
17
kept it,
years.
even our own magazine, we
Yeah.
kept everything to ourselves. And now Google Cloud has enabled us to kind of get that data into position that we can do much more with it. So we're working on 4 kind of areas. Predictive. So I'll give you a few of the ideas that we're doing. We've put like 20,000 sensors on our aircraft, and now we're able to predict maintenance much better, reduce our spare parts,
use of,
obviously improve our on-time performance, etc. Crew optimization, we're able to predict even weather patterns. We're bringing in weather models, and we can predict future delays. So we can hopefully tell you before you get to the airport there's going to be a storm, don't turn up. And so you don't pin a lot of voodoo pins into my doll
That will build
when you're sitting
trust,
around the airport.
Yeah.
And then demand forecasting and changing the operational experience of our passengers so that, or our guests. So, you know, we're using facial recognition. We're even looking at the sentiment using Google Cloud.
Yeah, you told me that when we first met, you said, I want to have a picture of someone as they come on the plane and as they leave the plane. I want them to be happier when they leave.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
that's
so
not always
I'm
the
going to
case.
measure my employees based on that.
Yeah. I also am involved with Queen's Park Rangers. I don't need that. I know when they're unhappy.
Okay.
When we lose. So the power is huge. And then we think airlines, well, such as us, we're trying to transform ourselves from an airline to a digital travel company. What does that mean? You know, obviously, we're constantly burdened by the fact of oil price, etc. But we see it with Google, the ability to go and build different business models. We have very strong platforms in Airasia.com and our loyalty program, Big Life. And so we're hoping to use your skill sets and the skills you bring to us to build bigger platform businesses, build more traffic, and give our consumers a better value and better product. It's a huge mission. But then, we've never done anything easy.
Yeah, well, you're executing on it, and we're so thrilled to support you. Thanks so much, Tony.
Thanks so much.
Really.
And make sure when you're in Asia, you fly Airasia. Take care. See you.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Thank you. Amazing, very successful entrepreneur. So as we work with our customers, partners are just completely key to that. They oftentimes complete the picture, append the picture for our customers. And they range, as Sebastian was mentioning, Accenture, Deloitte, several of the big enterprise companies, chip collaboration with Intel, Cisco, great collaboration, very forward-looking around hybrid on-prem in the cloud environments, great partnership there, very appreciative. And then almost 2 years ago, we announced a major partnership, very broad partnership with SAP that included technical collaboration around things like AI, using GCP for development, and even a data trustee relationship, and then, of course, moving SAP's products to running on Google Cloud and optimizing them for Google Cloud. And today, that's what customers are doing. They're moving their SAP to Google Cloud. And we've got both SAP and a customer here today. First, I'm going to bring out Rolf Schumann, who's the General Manager of Innovation for the SAP Cloud Platform globally. It's my great pleasure to welcome out Rolf. Hi, nice to see you. Hi, Rolf. It's so good to be here with you.
Thank you. Pleasure for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the progress we've been making. We've proved to be so complementary and working so well together. What's your perspective?
Look, first of all, it's really great pleasure being here and seeing this incredible crowd, energy in this room. And this energy we had exactly in our teams. When we started 18 months ago, there were so many things they were doing. And I have 3 things I think were iconic for this whole partnership.
Yeah.
And the first was our customers love SAP software. They love SAP HANA, they love S4. I think everybody would agree here.
And they trust you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, but they want to have a great place for their software to run. And so what the team did with the Google Cloud Platform, they found a fantastic place to run our systems, because this was key. And when you imagine we started, especially for HANA, with virtual machines of 12 terabytes, and now we even get up to 18. So the teams are doing progress, and they really continue working. They have great roadmaps for moving data, making migration. So the first thing was to find a fantastic place for our software to run.
Yeah, but then you were telling me about when your customers want to add functionality to their SAP implementation, how it used to be done and what they're doing now with Google. Yeah.
They have 2 examples. So you must imagine customers, what they're really looking for is this fantastic set of business services as well platform services. And when we have customers from retail here, they sometimes have to write a software just for one season, or take Black Friday just for one event. And they do not want to do this in the ERP system, so they make this as an extension. And this is what they really like from both platforms, to get speed, flexibility. So this is, I would say, the second big area, the extension with the services coming from Google Cloud Platform and SAP Cloud Platform.
And they can put AI in these things now with the Google. Yeah.
This is the third element they did. And just to be clear, this was what was opening my eyes, to be honest. So I'm in this job for some years, but sometimes you have these moments where you say, now this is a change. And this was the third element. We announced together with you that the SAP Cloud Platform is running on Google Cloud Platform, which means out of the box, seamlessly integrated, you get machine learning, artificial intelligence. You can imagine you have TensorFlow from Google with trained AI models. You have the AutoML, and suddenly you use this in the processes of SAP. So can you imagine what this means?
Without having to get a change put into SAP.
No, the change happens on the platform, so in minutes and hours, and not. And this is, for example, what we showed last week in Vegas. When you have a manufacturing system, let's take, we German love cars, German love cars, not diesels, but cars.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
take this out. But, and you have a manufacturing system for cars. You would never touch this. They produce hundreds, thousands of cars a day. And now the marketing comes with this great idea. you know what, when a car is painted, let's take a picture and send it to the customer via social media saying, this is your car. To do this today, in the old world, incredible. And what we did, we used the serverless functions on the Google Cloud Platform, coming with the Google functions, with the SAP, and within a few hours, you just have a trigger. So you must imagine the manufacturing system without touching it is sending an event when the car is painted, and you send out a Twitter feed or whatever, social media, out of the manufacturing line without touching the system. This is, when you look at this, this is changing how you make the systems go.
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's very exciting. And what are you hearing from the customers?
What we hear from the customers is the main thing. They said, Rolf, what we want to do is, we are so hungry for innovation. We want really to get innovation for differentiation. Forget about commodity innovation. And to do this journey and this transformation, because this means a huge transformation of the customers to build this intelligent enterprise, infuse technologies to their enterprises, they need trust and partnerships. And this is why they come to us, and this is why I think they love this partnership between Google and SAP, saying, if they help us to get the right platform, let's take this trust we have over years and decades, build up with those companies to evolve our business. And that's all about. So for us, what we see in today's day, everybody wants to go fast and speed and flexible to increase productivity, but they want to get their business to the next level, and trust is the ultimate concurrency.
That's fantastic. Ralph, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Great to talk to you today.
Thanks for being here.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah. And now we'll turn to a customer that's moving SAP to Google Cloud. And the customer is Metro, one of the largest B2B wholesalers in the world. And to talk about it, I want to welcome out Timo Solzeder, and he's the CIO of Metro and going to talk to us. Thank you. Hi. Thanks so much. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Timo, I'm just going to have you tell people a little bit more about Metro.
Right. Metro is probably not that known. So we are a B2B wholesale company based in Düsseldorf, Germany. We serve globally, not as many customers as Airasia is doing, but 21 million customers globally, mainly in the HoReCa industry. HoReCa stands for hotels, restaurants, and catering. We run about more than 1,000 stores. And, thanks for clicking. And we operate in 35 countries with about 150,000 employees. More than about 2,500 people are from product, engineering, and user experience. And
large company.
yeah, so one of our challenges, obviously, at Metro is that we, just like other companies, are in the middle of digital transformation. So currently, a significant part of our revenue is already coming from so-called food delivery service, where a customer orders product via digital channels. And the partnership helps us very much on that topic with Google.
Yeah.
So to help us digitize our business. And we consider the following areas as relevant. So our custom developed state-of-the-art architecture is based on technologies like microservices, NoSQL databases.
Very advanced.
We also use technologies like Go, Scala, Java, etc. And from an operational perspective, we heavily rely on Kubernetes. And one of our challenges is to provide on a global level scalability, performance, and security. And all on these topics, we have a great partner with Google helping us to even further develop our solutions. Another critical topic, as mentioned already a couple of times here, is obviously use of data. We sit on a gold mine of data. Since as customer of Metro, you need to have a Metro card in order to access our stores. Hence, we know exactly which customer is buying in which frequency, which product. And we are using technologies like Google Bigquery to provide advanced analytics. Machine learning plays a vital role, for instance, to optimize internal processes like supply chain management. But we also use machine learning to offer innovative services to our customers. So just as an example, we optimize the checkout processes in our stores by using image recognition based on Google APIs, or we use natural language processing for chefs in the kitchen to order products from Metro via voice using Google Home. So these are the services we'll be using there. But one of the most underestimated things, and you just mentioned it, when it comes to digital transformation is the cultural shift in the organization. So we have this very strong partnership with Google, also to help us on this aspect. We learn from Google, for example, when it comes to hiring processes, but also when it comes to performance management by using something like OKRs, so objectives and key results. And of course, we have regular exchanges with Google how to develop great products. Besides all these aspects, we are even more excited about extending our partnership with Google. And you just mentioned it, and also Rolf was talking about that. We are currently consolidating our SAP finance world. So we're moving more than 100 systems to SAP S/4HANA on a global scale. In this context, we decided to run SAP on Google Cloud, so that was a clear decision on our side. The rollout to more than 10,000 users globally goes very, very well from my perspective, and we are very thrilled to extend our partnership with great partners like SAP and Google.
That's phenomenal. I love how all in you are on so many of Google Cloud's strengths and SAP's. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks, Timo.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Really proud of customers like Metro. So, as you know, I'm someone that just loves bringing new technologies to market. And I have to say, technology has never moved at a faster pace. And so, in closing, I just want to say it's been an absolutely astonishing year of understanding how all of you are looking at technology and seeing how you can use it and envisioning and executing on driving your business to a whole new level. And we are working so hard to build what you need. We listen to you so carefully. We work with you so closely. And we're also, behind the scenes, working so hard to build things you don't even know are possible, but that one day you won't be able to live without. So thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Thanks for working with us. And now it is my absolute privilege to bring on stage our next speaker, Urs Husley. Urs has been at Google nearly all of its 20 years, and he's the person that's been behind building out all of its revolutionary, highly advanced technical infrastructure. Please welcome to stage Urs. Thank you.
Good morning. Just in time, my microphone is disassembling. But in the cloud, this would never happen. As Diane said, actually, I'll need someone to help me to get this on again. So as Diane said, cloud computing is really a revolution in computing, and it will bring many great things. But today, I'm actually going to talk about just one of them, namely what Google Cloud is doing to bring the cloud to you, to those workloads that will remain on-premise the longest. Cloud gives you, of course, unprecedented agility, reliability, flexibility, and so on. And Google Cloud Platform delivers great services like the only horizontally scalable SQL platform, Cloud Spanner, like machine learning APIs that give you vision, natural language, speech for your applications, or like Bigquery, the high-performance cloud data warehouse that lets you break down your data silos, gives you great analytics, and now also easy-to-use AI. And with our Velostrata service, you can migrate workloads to GCP in just minutes. All right, let me just see if I can do this myself. No, I can't. All right, just 1 second. Yes. So it's just falling down here. All right, much better. Thank you. All right, so so cloud computing, though, despite all these great things, is missing something. One, a microphone that works. We got that. Two, a simple way to combine the cloud with your existing on-premise services or with other clouds. And in fact, the industry has provided pretty much the opposite, because we all do things our own way. And that makes it a hassle for many developers and managers. So what's happening is that cloud providers implement things their own way, And they differentiate in areas that aren't really differentiated. They're just different. So it might be about specifying permissions or setting up a VM or a network or any number of ordinary things. All of these tasks are different in different clouds. And that creates a lot of unnecessary complexity everywhere. And it's getting worse because today, 8 out of 10 companies have a multi-cloud strategy. And that's on top of their own existing on-prem infrastructure, which isn't going away overnight either. So as an IT owner, you're faced with too much to do because you define, security policies and roles, you manage access to services, you monitor the health of your applications, you debug problems. All of this is hard to do, right? It's hard enough in a single environment. But in a hybrid environment, the way most enterprises work, it gets even harder because you have to do everything multiple times, once for each environment, each with its own rules. So it's no wonder that administration has become a key expense. According to IDC from 2005 to 2015, server costs fell 15%, yay, but administration costs rose by 83%. So that's not a good trend. And today I'm here to tell you how we're changing that. Now first, software containers have provided some help in simplifying and speeding up how you package and deploy applications. They wrap an application and all the bits it needs into one container and thus allow it to run across many different environments. Google put containers into Linux over a decade ago, and then 4 years ago, we released open source Kubernetes, a better way to organize and manage these containers. And today, it's by far the most popular way to manage containers. With Kubernetes, you don't have to worry about operating system patches. It comes with many tools for managing releases, load balancing, networking, et cetera. And of course, it supports continuous integration and continuous deployment. And that's why Kubernetes adoption has been really strong over the past 4 years. In fact, in a survey last year, nearly three-quarters of enterprises said they're using Kubernetes. So it's the industry standard for managing containerized applications. And of course, the very best way to experience Kubernetes is on Google Cloud Platform as Google Kubernetes Engine, or GKE. The only container service that's been available for over 3 years, and that's maintained and built by the same team that brought you Kubernetes in the first place. So now I'd like to talk about what GKE can mean for one company in particular. So I'd like to welcome on stage Åsa Bredin from King. Åsa. So you might not recognize King, but you probably all have used one of their products with a broad range of games, such as Candy Crush for casual gamers, or the role-playing game Legend of Solgard. King has reached, or is reaching 270, not 720, that's your goal, 270 million gamers every month. And that, of course, is a business where performance and uptime are critical. So Åsa, tell us about your experience in coming to GCP.
I will. As you said, 270 million users a month generates a lot of data, and we were running the largest on-premise Hadoop cluster in Europe. We were also running several different data platforms, and we felt this is not set up for the future. So as a first step in a broader move towards cloud, we decided to move our data to GCP. That was in April this year. And so far, we've seen improvements in 3 major areas. The first one, just unifying our data and running it in one platform made us faster in analysis, which leads to faster decisions. So our data scientists could go from very high-level data down to granular data really quickly. And number 2, we saved a lot of time in manual playtesting. So we do a lot of playtests to find out how engaging a level in a game is. and we trained virtual players using machine learning so that they can simulate gameplay. So far, we've played 25 million rounds with our virtual players. On the third, we saved a lot of time maintaining clusters and infrastructures, and in September, on average, we load 47 billion events into our data infrastructure, and since April, that's 7 trillion events through data flow. And all of that without thinking about capacity planning or infrastructure, because you guys do that for us, which is great. And looking to the future, we're really strong advocates of open source, so we're really excited about what we can do more with TensorFlow and Kubernetes. So we're looking at machine learning. We're also looking at a hybrid cloud setup where we can share workloads both on-premise and in the cloud. And it's been really great partnering with Google on this. We've worked really close, our engineers and your engineers, in solving anything along the way. And we're really happy with the results. It's easier, it's faster to work with our data. And it's also win-win, so the experience for our players is better. And our engineers are also happy working with your tech and all the things that is coming out. And we can use the data and focus on using that to get business value.
Thank you, Åsa. It's really been a pleasure working with you too. But before you go, we can't really have Candy Crush on stage without giving all of you a little treat. So please look under your seat. You'll find a bag of jelly beans. I'm not kidding, you really do. and 5 lucky souls will find a golden ticket that's redeemable for 100 candy bars delivered to your office wherever you are. Thank you, Åsa.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks.
All right. So as we continue working with our customers, we hear that containers in the cloud are great, but containers on-premise are not quite as great, and they're much harder to do since they're missing the magic of GKE. And so in July, we announced GKE On-Premise. GKE On-Prem manages containers inside your data center, but it looks and feels just like GKE in the cloud. So you can edit configs, set policies, deploy new apps, just the same way, using the same tools. So whether it's in your own data centers or in the servers of a remote location like a grocery store or a factory floor or in a public cloud, everywhere. So there's no jumping around different tools, different systems, no separate training, no discrimination against on-premise. So Kubernetes is great at managing containers, but we're making it even better to simplify service management and make service management portable across multiple environments. We have extended Kubernetes with a new open source system called Istio. Istio automates the deployment and management of higher level services and makes service-to-service communication secure and reliable in a way that's easy on developers. So you can discover, connect, secure, and monitor services holistically across multiple locations and still manage and monitor everything from a single place. So whether your service runs on GCP or on-prem, since Istio is fully open source and compatible with Kubernetes, you can use the same tools everywhere. And the key point here is that Istio standardizes a long list of things that until now were different everywhere. Your security policies, your audit logging, the connection to your identity systems, all of this now works the same way across on-premise and cloud. So let me say that again. Instead of learning 2 or 3 or 4 ways of deploying a service, securing a service, authenticating services to each other, connecting to a logging service, there's just one way to do it. So it's not just a container that's identical across environments. It's also the many scripts and configuration pieces that the container needs to run. So a huge chunk of the random differences between environments disappears. Now, we started working on Istio last year with IBM, Cisco, Pivotal, Lyft, and Red Hat, and announced the production-ready 1.0 version last July. And already, companies using Istio are seeing very exciting results. eBay says that it's getting a huge boost from reducing operational complexity. And AutoTrader reported a 75% reduction in the amount of CPU they have to allocate to each application instance. And now they can move an application into multiple environments in just 5 minutes. So when you look at easier container management with Kubernetes and easier service management with Istio, it's natural to take the next step. Why not combine the two and offer it as a fully managed, hassle-free service? In fact, that's what we've created with the Cloud Services Platform, a fully managed service platform that puts all your management of Kubernetes and Istio in one place, created and supported by the same teams that create and support Kubernetes and Istio. So with CSP, you can better control traffic. You have dynamic route configuration. You can do A/B tests. You can have release canaries. And you can do gradual upgrades of services using incremental deployments. And if an API is business critical, it integrates natively with Apigee, so you can make your services available to internal or external developers with Apigee's industry-leading API management. CSP can also transform a critical element of everyone's computing strategy, namely security, with a consistent set of security services that are independent of the application logic. So your developer doesn't need to be a security expert to develop a secure service. These policies, these security policies, can work on all services regardless of where they run. And they have unforgeable identities that authenticate encrypted calls between services. And all of that requires zero code changes in your applications. And so you can have one security model and one set of policies versus many. For visibility, we're also expanding Stackdriver, our monitoring solution, so that service monitoring works out of the box. So you can understand the performance of an application with built-in request tracing and profiling. And there's advanced features like application traces and error aggregation that help you find problems quickly. We'll talk about these in some of our breakout sessions. And last but not least, CSP also supports serverless, making your developers even more productive and allowing them to use the same serverless framework across all environments, on-prem and on GCP. That's a lot of functionality all in one place. And it's just the start of building a stronger, more customer-friendly, fully hybrid way to use the cloud. Now let's recap what this means for your cloud strategy. Diane mentioned this a little bit. Today, for some people, a cloud strategy is just lift and shift for your existing code and then developing new single cloud applications. But that misses out on so many benefits of the cloud. Using Istio and soon CSP, you can get a common platform to train your people against, a common service and security model, reduced operational complexity, and faster innovation. You get more of what the cloud has to offer: better security, lower costs, simplified operations, all based on open source. And of course, on Google Cloud, you get the best way to experience all of this with a fully managed, hassle-free service that's still fully compatible with the open source version. And so whether you're modernizing existing code by wrapping it in containers or writing modern microservices, you have one way to configure, one way to deploy, one way to secure, one way to audit. And with our cloud marketplace, you can find, purchase, and deploy third-party container-based applications into either your on-premise environment or your cloud environment, and you manage them exactly the same way. So that's what we mean by bringing the cloud to you. And that brings real tangible benefits to customers, because a consistent hybrid platform that works across all environments is a natural choice and a safe choice for many years to come. So if you're running your services in branch offices or in a central data center or in a factory or on a ship, you can use the same consistent way to deploy, manage, and secure those services. The entire cloud services platform will be available in alpha in just a few weeks. It will include all the features that I've talked about today, including on-prem GKE, Istio, observability, centralized policy enforcement, and of course, documentation and best practices. And just like Kubernetes greatly simplified containers and triggered a growing ecosystem of services around it, Istio greatly simplifies the services. And so you'll see a very robust ecosystem for it emerge in just the next few months. So this is what we mean by bringing the cloud to you. We're ending the false dichotomy between on-prem and cloud. We help you modernize with lower management costs, get better insights, have built-in security policies all in one place, and all consistent from on-prem to the cloud, with one selection of tools and one goal in mind. From the network to the applications to the management, we bring the cloud to you. Thank you. And now I'd like to welcome Rajan Sheth, who will talk about analytics, data, and bringing artificial intelligence to wherever your business may need it. Rajan. Good luck.
Thanks, Royce. Thank you, Urs. I love hearing about the incredible technology that builds the foundation of Google Cloud. So as Diane mentioned earlier today, Google's mission is to organize the world's information. And Google Cloud's mission is to help you organize your information and supercharge it for you. Now, for many of you, data is the lifeblood of your company, and you want to do more to get analysis, intelligence, and action out of that data. Customers around the world trust Google's industry-leading infrastructure that Google Cloud provides. This includes global companies like HSBC and Ocado, who trust Google Cloud to provide them the secure, scalable, and reliable cloud to build and run their businesses. And because of this great infrastructure, we can create great data and AI tools for you as well. And we're focusing on with three things in mind. How can we make this simple, fast, and useful for you? So we want to make it simple so that you can make sure that all of your employees can take advantage of your data. We want to make it fast so that you can iterate and succeed faster. And we want to make it useful so that we can actually solve your critical business problems and give you return on investment. This all starts with your data. And so let's take a little bit of a look at what Google Cloud offers for big data analytics. We want you to be able to leave the usual complexities of analytics behind you. And this includes things like easily building a data warehouse that can execute queries in seconds rather than in minutes at any scale. It includes ingesting and analyzing millions of data, streaming data events, and doing this all in real time. It includes getting value out of your data by processing through things like Apache Hadoop and Apache Spark. And it includes visualizing and exploring that data through Google Cloud as well as third-party tools. Now, this all forms the basis for doing things like predictive analytics and doing machine learning on top of this. At the heart of all of this data lifecycle is Bigquery, which is Google's fully managed enterprise data warehouse for analytics. Bigquery is unique because it's blazing fast and can handle massive data sets. We have customers right now that are putting petabytes of data into Bigquery. And to put that in context, a petabyte of data is about 13 years of HD video. Hopefully that's more TV than you and I can watch in a lifetime. BigQuery customers are regularly executing queries that scan more than 5 petabytes of data. And in fact, in just the last month, we had 100 customers that did single queries over trillions of rows of data. And one of those queries actually exceeded 28 trillion rows. It's a lot of data, for sure. And today I'm pleased to announce that we're bringing BigQuery even closer to you by making it available in regional Google Cloud data centers across the world. BigQuery regional rollout will continue throughout 2018 and then also into 2019. So as of today, BigQuery is available in the Google Cloud region locally, here in London. But how do you bring intelligence to that data? Wouldn't it be great if you could actually just bring machine learning to your data? This is why we recently introduced BigQuery ML, which empowers any data analyst or data scientist to build machine learning models directly in BigQuery using the language that they understand the most, which is SQL. That now, too, is also available in the London region, and we've added a variety of new algorithms to make it even more powerful for you. One of the greatest things here is you can access this directly through SQL. Now, all of your data analysts know SQL, and they can now build machine learning models and get analysis out of their data very, very quickly using this. Also, it's in database, so you actually don't have to move your data anywhere to be able to do machine learning. And it's fast, so in seconds, you're going to be able to create models and start creating predictions that will impact your business. We're having amazing momentum with our data analytics products across many verticals, including things like financial services, retail, gaming, media and entertainment, and more. A great example of this is Twitter, that has the largest Hadoop cluster with 300 petabytes of storage. And so from cloud-native companies through to enterprise companies, we're seeing huge benefit with our data products. But what about the rest of your data? So it turns out that about 80% of the data within an average enterprise is unstructured data. These are things like documents or photos, emails, maybe things like product reviews and videos. Now, in the past 5 years, deep learning has made massive advances such that you can actually get analysis and insights out of this unstructured data. But deep learning is quite hard. There are only tens of thousands of people in the world that can successfully build a deep learning model right now. There are about 2 million data scientists in the world. But there are 21 million developers out there, and there are hundreds of millions of other users that are using data. How can we make AI accessible to all of those people and make it so that everyone has access? So we have 3 products in this area to make this possible. First is our platform, which helps you create, run, and scale models on Google Cloud. The second is what we call our building blocks, and this is where we take the best of Google's AI and bring it to you as services that you can use within your applications. And then finally, we have solutions. This is where we're looking to solve some of your critical business problems using AI. So let's first start with our platform. We provide both open source and fully managed services to make it so that you can scale your own AI models. So data scientists can simply upload, train, and scale their models via our product Cloud ML Engine. But also, we now provide an open source project which we call Kubeflow, which makes it easy to run machine learning on Kubernetes in your own way, either in the cloud or on-premise. We're also making this platform more flexible with the release of Kubernetes 0.3. This enhances Kubernetes by adding support for TensorRT, and also we recently added support for PyTorch as well. In addition, we'll take innovation all the way to the hardware. We created custom chips, which we call tensor processing units, which dramatically speed up machine learning for key workloads. And today, we're pleased to announce that the 3rd generation liquid-cooled TPU is now available in beta to all of our users. These new TPUs are 2.3 times faster than the previous generation of TPUs, which we released last year, making them the fastest and most advanced accelerator technology in the world for deep learning. So second, let's take a look at our building blocks. This is where we brought the best of Google's AI in the form of these building blocks that you can use within your own applications. Now, Cloud AI offers a variety of these models in key areas, things like vision, text, and conversation, so that you can be able to do the kinds of things that we're able to do with our applications. But the interesting thing here is that AI is a mass customization problem. And what I mean by that is 2 companies, even if they're doing the same thing, will likely require slightly different models. But we talked about how deep learning is quite hard and customization is hard. So this is why we developed Cloud AutoML. Cloud AutoML gives you a simple interface to extend our most powerful machine learning models for your custom needs. We actually use machine learning to find these high-quality machine learning models for your data set. And importantly, you don't need expertise in machine learning to do this. With Cloud AutoML, anyone can make machine learning work for them. The Cloud AI team is collaborating with organizations of all shapes and sizes across the world to be able to deliver this mission to everyone and deliver Cloud AutoML to everyone. And one project I'm super excited about is what we'd like to talk to you about is the Zoological Society of London. They're a charity devoted to worldwide conservation of animals. And so to tell you more about this, please welcome up Sophie Maxwell, the Conservation Technology Lead for ZSL, who can tell you more about how AI benefits protecting our precious natural resources. Thank you, Sophie.
Hello, everybody. And thank you, Rajan. So ZSL is more than just London Zoo. It is an international conservation charity working around the world to stop species going extinct. And we are seeing a catastrophic loss of biodiversity across the planet. In the last 40 years, we've lost 58% of the world's wildlife. And at ZSL, we're working hard to reverse these trends, and technology is playing a key part. Now, conservationists love camera traps. These small digital cameras are deployed in the field, and they have a passive infrared sensor that detects motion and snaps a picture of wildlife as they walk past. We typically deploy them in grids of around 30 cameras to survey wildlife populations in the areas where we work. They tell us about the state of nature. Are population numbers going up, or are they going down? Where are species going? And what are the threats that they face? We urgently need this information to help us focus and also take conservation action and inform policy change. But the cameras, they misfire. They take lots of empty images and common species walking past. The data gets really messy and blurry. Who here can tell me what species are in these images? This is a data set from Borneo, and this is an orangutan in the mist, and this is actually a sun bear. They're one of the smallest bears in the world, and they happen to love selfies. And don't worry, there's not one under your seats. So currently, experts have to label every image one by one, and this can take months. With 100,000 images coming from each survey, and only 5% of them containing the target species, this is really slowing us down. And these surveys are happening all over the world. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, and it's causing a bottleneck and wasting our time when we could be out there saving wildlife. So we started working with Google and Cloud AutoML to create our own image recognition models that could help us identify species in camera trap images. We created our own models without any machine learning expertise. Using 35,000 expert-labeled images, we created our own advanced model and then applied it to a challenging data set from Borneo. We were really surprised with the results. We got 91% classification accuracy for 34 species. And this accuracy was actually consistent for all those species that had 800 training images. So this got us really excited about the potential of AutoML to speed up our conservation work from months to just days. So what's next? Well, we're working with Google on creating a new platform that's powered by AutoML. One that helps conservationists create their own models for niche species and habitats. We hope to make it free and open source so that researchers worldwide can actually share their models and refine them collectively together as a community to process their camera trap data and get new insights. Longer term, we see machine learning playing a key role in giving us a real-time view of the pulse of wildlife across the planet to speed up our conservation work because time is running out. I'd like to thank Google for all they do to support our conservation work, and also Oliver Wern, the scientist who made this possible. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much, Sophie. It was incredible to see how ZSL was able to use the simple interface of Cloud AutoML to solve a really challenging problem. But it's even more inspiring to see how nonprofit organizations are applying data analytics and machine learning to the world's greatest problems, including things like preserving biodiversity. This is also why we announced and launched the Data Solutions for Change program earlier this year in Next San Francisco, to empower organizations to be able to achieve their missions at scale. Nonprofits of all kinds can now receive free credits on Google Cloud. We've seen our building blocks and platform technologies, and now we're also looking at solutions and figuring out how we can solve specific business problems. So today I'm excited to announce that more companies are using our AI services, and we have over 14,000 paying customers of our service right now, including the large businesses that you see here. So finally, we're looking to solve very specific problems with our AI. We're building great AI models that'll help you get started fast. But in addition to that, we're actually working with partners to be able to embed that AI into your existing workflows and make them better. As an example, this is why we introduced Contact Center AI earlier this year. And this infuses our AI technology into the best contact center software from all of the leading providers in the world. It makes it so that we can handle your customers' simple questions automatically, but then also for complex questions, be able to help the agents answer those questions with the latest information and answer those seamlessly. But another problem you've also told us about is around document management. How do we get meaning out of the millions and millions of documents that you have? So we partnered with Iron Mountain, the leading solution provider for records and document management. They have about 1.7 trillion pages of information stored. And to give you some more context on that, if you stack those pages end to end, that's enough to reach from here to Mars and back. 95% of the Fortune 1000 uses Iron Mountain, have been doing so for the last 60 years. And so as of now, through this partnership, all Iron Mountain customers across the world will now have access to Google's AI services that are built into Iron Mountain. In 2018 and beyond, we're working closely with our customers to see if we can solve specific problems that customers are trying to address, particularly within some of the key verticals that you see here. We're looking across verticals like retail or healthcare or education to figure out how we can work with you to solve these problems and figure out how machine learning can help solve these. So with all that we're doing here, you can see how we're looking to make AI simple, fast, and useful for you. But this is just the beginning. How many of you remember this? This is, of course, the Mosaic browser from 1994. And what was great about this is the first time most people saw the internet for the first time. The average person saw the internet. All of us that saw this probably remember our aha moment for when we realized the internet was special. I'm a huge sports fan, and so live sports scores was my aha moment. The reason I put this up here is this is where AI is today. Similar to the internet at that point, and what we've seen over the last 20 years, we believe that AI is going to be the foundation of computing for the next 30 years. And we look forward to innovating with you to make this a reality. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to welcome up to the stage Amy Loki, who will walk you through some of the recent innovations that we've done in G Suite.
Hello. It's great to be here today, and I'm thrilled to speak with you some more about G Suite and how it's helping reimagine the way that we work. So I am personally incredibly passionate about helping people accomplish their most important goals, whether it's personal or professional. And with G Suite, our mission is truly to elevate human accomplishment. And that means reimagining work, transforming the way that people collaborate, and accelerating their ability to do great things. And we know that magic happens when people come together to work as a team. And that's where G Suite comes in. So what is G Suite? Well, I'm sure many of you are familiar with Gmail, right? And Gmail has been reimagining how we communicate for over a decade. And I'm sure many of you use products like Docs, Sheets, Slides, Drive, and Calendar. Many more of you are starting to use Hangouts Meet, which is our cloud-based, high-definition video conferencing solution, and also Hangouts Chat for team communication. Many of you are also using Cloud Search to help organize your company's information. And together, there are more than 1.4 billion monthly active users on G Suite. Now, what you may not know is over 80 million of them are students currently learning using G Suite who will someday be your employees. So we put these applications together to create G Suite, and today over 4 million businesses rely on G Suite. So these include small businesses and enterprises like Carrefour and Veolia. We built G Suite to remove the mundane, which enables employees to focus on their truly creative work. And G Suite helps teams work together and faster so that people can have improved work-life balance. So what does this mean and what does this look like? Let's take a minute to roll the video and see what this looks like in action.
Whoa. Next Friday's pitch.
Tomorrow.
Hey Google, join the meeting.
All right, so you just saw how one team reacted to a high-stakes challenge using G Suite. And the way that they were able to solve this challenge was not possible using legacy tools. Since G Suite is cloud native, there is no longer version roulette or attachment anxiety. This is work reimagined. So when we talk to our customers and our users and conduct user research, we pay very close attention to what it takes to reimagine work. And we have landed on 3 core design principles. First, we know G Suite must be secure. Second, it needs to be smart. And third, it has to be simple and easy to use. So I'm going to spend some time diving into these 3 principles and talking about how G Suite was designed to do these 3 things for you. So first, starting with secure. Our cloud-native security eliminates risks that others have resigned themselves to. For example, you can't lose a dock on a USB stick. Our full-stack security is self-administering, which means there are no longer patches to roll out. Everyone has the latest and greatest and most secure version of the software at all times. For 2-factor authentication, we have security keys that plug into your mobile or your laptop. They complement passwords, and they cannot be broken like old tokens. So how secure is this? Well, for G Suite customers using our security keys, we have had a grand total of 0 account hijackings. So that is security nirvana. Now, we know it's also critical to make it simple for your admins to protect your employees. So earlier this year, we announced the Security Center for G Suite. This is a one-stop shop that gives you the security and the analytics and actionable recommendations to make sure that your products are secure for your business. The Security Center will tell you what settings to adjust to make your enterprise more secure. Now, within the Security Center is a critical feature called the investigation tool. This tool lets admins investigate suspicious file sharing outside of a domain and revoke access to drive files and even delete malicious emails. Now, we know that staying on top of alerts is not easy. Admins, on average, get over 5,000 alerts per day. So it's no surprise that many of these go uninvestigated. So today, I am thrilled to announce the Alert Center. The Alert Center lets admins view essential G Suite alerts all in one place. And this helps admins take action to better serve and protect your organization. And all of this from the same simple console. This is security reimagined. So we also know that transparency and control are key elements of our data governance. And we've heard our customers tell us that they would like to have select user data stored here in Europe or in the United States. So G Suite Data Regions allows customers to choose where primary data for G Suite apps is stored when at rest. And best of all, the solution is dynamic. So that means if a user moves or a file ownership changes, the file moves seamlessly and there's no impact on file availability. So let's talk about our second principle, smart. Google has made huge investments in AI, and you've heard about some of those today. These have brought you magical experiences in the products that you're familiar with, like Search, YouTube, Maps, Photos, and many more. And many of you know that millions of people are using the Google Assistant to get more done every single day. So we're committed to bringing you that same magical assistance in the workplace. But we've recognized that an assistant in the workplace is not as simple as simply porting over a consumer product into the enterprise. So we studied very carefully what people do in the workplace over and over again. And if you can guess, the most repetitive tasks revolve around communication, and in particular, writing. And as you may start to think about, many of us spend hours and hours writing an email every day. So that's why we added magical tools to G Suite to save you time with these mundane writing tasks. It's been 2 years since we first launched Smart Reply. And with Smart Reply, Gmail will suggest 3 short answers when it's appropriate. We're seeing Smart Reply is driving more than 10% of email replies. So think about that for a minute. 10% of replies are machine written, but most importantly, human approved. So we wanted to go even further than Smart Reply because we know the most laborious tasks are not the short answers, but the ones that require more complex, long thought. So that's why we brought you Smart Compose, which uses AI to draft emails from scratch faster. So let's take a look at how this works, and I'll point out a few things. So first, as you start writing an email, you'll notice that Smart Compose is contextual. So it recognizes what you're talking about and makes suggestions, in this case, like ink and paper. It also customizes the response based on relevant information and your personal facts, like your company address. Over time, it learns how you address people so that when you're talking to them, you truly sound like you. It's been great to hear the positive feedback on Smart Compose, and people truly appreciate how it helps them not only write faster, but prevent making mistakes like spelling errors. Today, I'm incredibly excited to share that Smart Compose is coming to 4 new languages, Francais, Italiano, Espanol, and Portuguese, later this month. So Smart Compose truly builds people's confidence when they're writing and communicating, and now will do so around the world. So in addition to writing, we're also using AI to improve voice communications. We've built an enterprise-ready version of Google Voice powered by AI. Google Voice for G Suite gives you a phone number that isn't tied to a specific device, so you can place and receive phone calls from anywhere and any device. It also provides accurate voicemail transcription and spam filtering, so you can understand what's urgent and important right away. So finally, let's talk about our third principle, simple. Building products that are loved by billions of users requires a discipline of simplicity by design. And we're bringing that billion-user simplicity to the workplace. Built for the cloud means effortless real-time collaboration, and that is what users increasingly expect. We can even measure this simple real-time collaboration, and we have found that 74% of the time, people are collaborating, and often concurrently. So no longer do users have to wait for an attachment to be sent or to manage version control. G Suite also makes it incredibly simple to find all the information across your organization. According to McKinsey, the average employee spends 20% of their time searching for information. And Cloud Search gives your teams this time back. Cloud Search leverages Google's expertise in search and makes it simple to find the content across your organization, whether it's in the cloud or on-prem, all from one very simple search tool. Now, it's incredibly simple to transition to G Suite and see the impact on your teams. So today, I shared a number of ways that G Suite helps reimagine how we work. And I invite you to join us on this journey if you have not already. Together, I believe we have an incredible opportunity to help our teams move to the future, to unlock people's creative potential, and truly elevate human accomplishment with G Suite. Thank you very much. And then now, to close it up for today, or at least for this morning's session, I'd like to invite Sebastian back up to the stage. Welcome, Sebastian.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow, I love G Suite. Europe loves G Suite. We have so many live and happy customers with G Suite. It's amazing to see how much this is transforming the way companies are working. It was really inspiring also to hear about Luke from Airbus. So it's time to wrap it up. I talked about a vision at the beginning of the keynote, and I hope you have seen the reality. It was really great to hear from our top executives and from our top customers. Great to hear Diane about how Google and Google Cloud have built a computer the size of the world that can take your enterprise needs. It was very inspiring to hear about Tony. I hope you enjoyed Tony. I mean, it's amazing to see a man building a company from scratch, and we are very, very and bringing it to where it is today, where it's Airasia. So we are very proud, actually, to be part of this journey. And it was really cool also to hear about Metro in a very large retail company, moving their SAP workloads into the cloud and selecting Google to make it happen. So Urs was very inspiring. You know, it's a journey, it's complex, it's not magical. You will have to handle actually a kind of open hybrid environment. So we are very pleased to announce actually GKE on-prem and Istio. I think that it will dramatically help you to drive this migration to the cloud. And it was also equally inspiring to hear Rajan and our ability to use and leverage artificial intelligence to really transform your business ideas and to create your next services and products to your customers, and really to build some competitive advantage. So with that, I would really like to thank all our customers who came on stage this morning: Airasia, Metro, King, Zoological Society of London, and Airbus. There is much more tomorrow. It's just the beginning of Google Next 2018. So please look at the details, visit the exhibition center, and cherry pick your sessions, because you will learn a lot from these 125 breakout sessions. With that, I wish you a fantastic day, and thank you very much for attending. Thank you.